Hello, my name is Ellen. If you are a new viewer, welcome to my channel. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. I'm so glad you are here. Also, a welcome to my first unboxing video. That is not really something I ever thought I would say on this channel because I tend to focus more on the DIY and thrift side of my wardrobe. But in this particular instance, I feel the occasion called for it because I decided to take a risk and order from the brand Corset Story. Now, I did do a bit of research before I made this purchase. I even thrifted a corset from the brand so I could get a better idea of the fit and the quality. So there is a sixth item that I will be sharing at the end of the video that was not technically ordered directly from the site. I thrifted it. So yeah, like I said, I did do my research, and honestly, it was a little difficult navigating some of the mixed signals that I was getting from some of the reviews, because some people were saying that they absolutely loved their corsets, while others were like, absolutely don't buy from them, the quality is terrible. And I was a little confused, and there weren't that many reviews to begin with. I also know that there are people who use corsets for waist training. I do not personally use them for waist training. I just like the silhouette and that particular style of garment. So that is my main reason for purchasing these corsets. These are definitely more of a dressy item that I will have fun styling in future videos if they fit. That being said, I ordered all sale items. So the site was having a 5-for-1 sale, and I made it my goal to order the most discounted items off of the site, which meant there was limited sizing. There is a good possibility that some of these corsets might be too small for me. And if that's the case, I will be a little disappointed because they looked really cute in the photos. This is the package that came in the mail. It has been sitting in my living room for almost a week. I wanted to wait to open it with you all. I'm pretty sure this brand is based in the UK and they ship from the UK, so I was expecting it to take a lot longer for this package to get here, but it was here within like 3 or 4 days, so the shipping was very quick. By the way, total cost for the items specifically was about $50, but I had to pay $20 in shipping, so the total price ended up being about $70, which still isn't bad if these corsets actually fit me properly, because one corset can cost over $100 if you're buying it full price. Also, there should be 4 corsets and 1 skirt in this box. I wanted to order 5 corsets, but like I said, limited sizing for a lot of the sale corsets, and I wanted to keep my spending to a minimum if possible. But yes, very excited to start the unboxing, but before we do that, I would like to share a little bit of background about corsets and their history. Let's get into it. Hi, voiceover Ellen here. I just wanted to premise this portion of the video with a quick disclaimer. I am not a fashion expert or historian, nor am I an expert on this particular subject. I feel the need to state this because corsets, their history and intended purpose as a whole, are somewhat controversial and debated. If you'd like to see my sources, I've linked the articles I've referenced in the description below. The Corset Story website actually has a little bit of history in which they state, the corset has a long and complicated history. The term is short for corset girdle, a tight-laced, boned garment designed to slim the waist and shape the female figure. The first corsets date back to ancient Greece, but it wasn't until the Victorian era, specifically 1838, that they became a fashion staple. Corsets became so prevalent that they were worn by the majority of women from the late Renaissance up into the 20th century, and though the corset is usually seen as a women's garment, they were also commonly worn by men as well, specifically starting in the 1600s and up into the 1800s. Men wore corsets for the same reason as women, as a clothing staple to produce a specific type of silhouette that was fashionable at the time. These corsets were worn underneath slim-fitting shirts, jackets, and trousers. When studying history as a kid, I remember seeing photos and artists' renderings like these, not realizing that these guys were getting that snatched look from corsets. I'd also like to note that Photoshop isn't a new idea, and some of the extremely snatched waists seen in old black and white photos are the result of retouching. not only in photos but also drawings. It would have been easy for an artist to draw a woman with a tiny waist to improve the appeal of a sales ad for these garments. Rule of thumb, don't believe everything you see, there's nothing new under the sun. While corsets were readily accepted as a wardrobe staple, the safety and practicality of wearing them was called into question during the 18th and 19th centuries, with doctors claiming that they were the cause of a multitude of ailments, including scoliosis, tuberculosis, and hysteria. These false diagnoses pushed a negative reputation onto the corset, which seems to have been perpetuated since then. In an article from the Vintage Women magazine, it says, "When talking about corsets, the one question that arises time and again is, aren't they torture devices? And the simple answer is no. If they were, then women wouldn't have worn them for so many centuries. The truth is, a corset or pair of stays that are fitted correctly to the wearer is comfortable and allows for sufficient movement. They were rarely ever laced completely shut, for the aim was not to reduce the size of the waist, but simply create a silhouette." There was a trend in the late 19th century of tight lacing, and this seems to have been etched into our minds as how corsets were always worn. However, this trend was only followed by a small handful of aristocratic women who wished to reduce their waist. It must, however, be noted that while stays and Victorian corsets did not cause the wearer pain, the Edwardian S-bend corset may well have done due to its extreme shape. It forced the wearer to stand with their hips tilted back. But this is the only instance of this. I've personally noticed that many tend to think that corsets were the product of the patriarchy and a means of controlling and suppressing women, when in reality they were a common garment that was worn by both men and women over the years to provide support and an appealing silhouette. These garments seem to have been accepted and worn very similarly to how we wear and accept bras and underwear today. I've also noticed modern media tends to make corsets seem like torture devices, because in movies and shows, tight lacing is often shown with the results being less than favorable to the wearer. Not only this, but actresses who have worn them for different roles have talked about how uncomfortable they are, but this can most likely be attributed to their corsets being worn or fitted improperly. In the same article I mentioned earlier, it says, "I have lost count of the number of times I've seen a character in a period piece wearing a corset or pair of stays directly next to their skin, which is completely inaccurate. Throughout history, stays and corsets were worn over a layer called the shift, a linen or cotton underdress that was changed daily and acted as a barrier between the skin and corset. This also protected the corset and outer garments from becoming dirty from the body's oils and dirt. If a corset is worn directly on the skin, it can be very painful and cause bruising and blisters. Corsets worn by actresses often don't fit them sufficiently, which can also cause pain and be highly uncomfortable." During the 20th century, corsets did finally lose their appeal as women began focusing on exercise and clothing that was comfortable and practical. With the rise of new fashion trends and a more fitness-driven mindset in society, the corset's popularity began to fade. This shift also occurred in World War I, during which time women were urged to stop purchasing corsets so that the materials generally used to make them could be used to support the war efforts instead. Not only this, but the development of new materials allowed for the production of more modern shapewear, such as girdles. Nowadays, corsets are generally worn as a fashion statement and aren't a daily garment, though mock corsets and corset-shaped tops tend to be very popular with many women, including myself. These tops provide the flattering style and whimsical silhouette of a corset while often being made from soft, stretchy material. These tops have corset-like details, but lack boning, thus they are very comfortable. Corsets are still popular in the fashion world as well, showing up on runways and being commonly worn by celebrities. Designers such as Tom Ford, Vivienne Westwood, Jean-Paul Gaultier, Thierry Mugler, and Yves Saint Laurent have used corsets and corset-style elements in their designs. Corsets over the years have shifted from being worn as underwear to outerwear. While many will wear a corset on its own, I personally love the trend of styling underbust or overbust corsets with collared shirts, t-shirts, or dresses underneath. I also love the trend of styling them in a casual way with boots and jeans or a maxi skirt and Doc Martens. I think one reason I personally like corsets or corset style garments is because I enjoy the silhouette and the shape it can give an outfit. The structured look is also appealing to me, as they are a garment that almost seem to have a personality of their own, all while being an interesting statement piece in a person's wardrobe. Many corsets, both historical and modern, have unique and beautiful design elements as well, some being adorned with lace, beading, or needlework, thus adding even more character to the garment. I personally want to try my hand at making a corset or underbust. I feel like it would be a challenging project, but worth the time. So let me know in the comments if that's something you might like to see on this channel. I think corsets have become popular recently because a lot of people are looking for something to wear that is unique and has a bit of whimsy and character. Corsets can be worn in a modern way while also being styled for costumes, cosplays, and Ren fairs. These garments will most likely remain popular, and we'll continue to see different iterations of corsets in the future. Sorry for the weird angle of the camera, but there was an issue with one of my camera mounts, so until I get that fixed, this is what we're working with. Okay. One thing that I really focused on when I made my purchases was ordering ones that were made of cotton. Some of them they said were satin, but I assume that generally if it's a satin material, it's going to be polyester, and I'm not a huge fan of polyester. Okay, let's see. There's the polka dot one. I got a tan one, a black one, a tan overbust, and the skirt is here. Everything is here. Oh, that's amazing. Okay, let's take a look at one of these. Okay, it's fully closed. Oh, I wasn't sure from the photos, but the arms are elastic, which that's awesome because honestly, I wasn't sure about the fit of these if they weren't elastic. Tan one, this one had larger ruffle sleeves. Oh, those are so pretty. It does need an ironing though. The lacing on this actually looks a little bit more heavy duty. This one here, this is like basic polyester ribbon. This is probably also polyester, but it just has more of a shoelace feel to it. Like it's a little bit heavier. This one's a size 4. Honestly, it doesn't look very different from the size 2, so I really hope it fits. Here's the black one, same thing, these sleeves are stretchy. This one's a little different than the others. This is an overbust corset, and I am genuinely curious about how I'm gonna style this, but I have some ideas. I'll show you a little bit later in the video what I'm thinking. Same color as this one, just minus the sleeves. But I don't know, guys, these are looking really small. Granted, they are corsets, so there's leeway. And I also wanted to mention that one of the things that a lot of people in reviews were saying is that there was an unfortunate amount of gapping in the bust area. And I feel like that would be an issue for me because I am not a larger chested girly. And last but not least, the skirt. Oh, this looks so cute. Okay, it's a UK 10, which means it's probably like a 4 or maybe a 6 US sizing. And I was nervous about that, but honestly, this looks like it's gonna fit me perfectly. Hi, sorry for the shakiness of the video. I am currently waiting for epoxy glue to dry because one of my camera mounts broke and I am trying to do a quick fix. So I will be doing a style portion of the video tomorrow. But just a quick update, I've tried on one of the corsets. It is the tan overbust corset. No, I would not style it with shorts. Was it difficult to get into this? Yes, it was. It looks bad in the back, by the way. I can't really show you, but it's all bunchy because I didn't tuck in the shirt. That's my bad. I can understand why people are saying there's gapping, because this is the size 4. And I would say this fits me well. I still feel like it's borderline gapping in the bust area for me. So the fact that a size 4 is doing that is rather telling, honestly. So yeah, if you decide to order from this brand, just take that into account if you are part of the itty bitty committee like me. Quick update before I quit filming for the day. I just tried on the size 2 corset and it fits really well. And I'm so pleased because I was genuinely concerned that it wouldn't fit. And there isn't much gapping in the bust area either. Also the skirt fits. I'm gonna show you guys a better video of that tomorrow once I've cleaned and ironed it, because right now it's really wrinkly. I will say I really like these ruffle sleeves, but there were reviews online where people had said they were a little snug, and those people were not wrong. There is some stretchiness to them, but there's not a whole lot of room, to be completely honest. But maybe that's just me. My arms are not very thin, so yeah. So one thing I did want to mention is that these come fully laced, completely closed, and I have to extend the back quite a bit to fit into these properly. Just something to keep in mind when you order them. They do have a bit of leeway because they are corsets. I just have been loosening all of these strings so that everything fits me. I have actually loosened the majority of them to about this width for them to fit me properly.
1 week later.
Hi, it's been several days since I filmed the last portion of this video because I got sick with what I think is the flu. I'm still not feeling that great, so if my voice sounds a little weird at any point in this video, it is because my throat is still a little sore and I am fighting the urge to cough into the microphone. But alas, we persevere. Let's get into it. This is the first corset that I want to show you guys. I actually really like the look of the corset. I'm not sure how I feel about it paired with jeans. I mean, on the Corset Story website, they did pair a lot of the corsets with jeans and jean shorts and made it look effortless. I'm not sure I can pull off that look, but we will see. I'll just keep playing around with it and see how it works. I do think next I will try and style this top in a more formal way, but for now, this is my casual version of the outfit. As far as comfortability, I think I tightened this a little bit too much. It's a smidge snug. This is what the back looks like. I think I need to get a little bit better with my lacing and tying the little bow. But for the most part, I really like the way that it looks. Also, I did not use the modesty panel. The modesty panel has been tucked inside the corset, and I'm wearing a comfy, soft cotton undershirt as a buffer between myself and the corset. So pro tip taken from the girlies in the history books, always wear a layer underneath your corset. It will be a lot more comfortable. So let's move on to the next look. So next up, I've tried to style this top a little bit more formally. I'm not sure about the shoes, to be completely honest, but I didn't feel like digging my other black stilettos out of storage, so this is what we're working with. Other than the shoes, I have paired the top with this sparkly maxi skirt that I thrifted recently, and I gotta say, I kind of like it. I'm not sure, I tried wearing the skirt over top this portion, like the bottom of the corset tucked in, and that looked kind of weird, so I'm wearing it this way, and I think it looks pretty good. But anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'm gonna try one more look with this corset and then move on to the next one. Okay, last look. I actually kind of like the full black ensemble. I think it actually kind of works. But yeah, let me know in the comments which of these 3 outfits you think would possibly work. I feel a little bit iffy about all of them, and I don't know why. I'm not really sure. It's not necessarily the corset. I just think that I'm unfamiliar with how to style this. It's a bit of a quandary to me. Okay, so the more I try to style these corsets, the more I notice how unconventional corsets actually are. And that's just because I don't ever see anyone wearing them. It's not that they look bad, they don't. It's just not a common thing that you see in your everyday life. So I think for me to wear this out in public, I would have to step out of my comfort zone a little bit. And one of the things that I have been trying to experiment with lately is layering. I hope that I'm doing it right. I actually kind of like this. Maybe it's really terrible and maybe I'm just delulu. But, you know, beauty's in the eye of the beholder, and everyone's preferences are different. So anyway, this is my attempt at styling the size 2 tan overbust corset. But I really kind of like the way that it looks with this pretty blue and white bell sleeve top. It works really well as a buffer between me and the corset. And I also think that it helps to keep this tan color from just blending into my skin tone. Next up, we have the polka dot corset. And I don't normally wear a lot of polka dots, but I like this top, not gonna lie, it's cute. I've actually styled it pretty much the same way they styled it on the model because I liked the way that that looked with the black skinny jeans. And I'm actually gonna have to look at the picture again. I don't know what shoes she was wearing, but I'm just gonna wear my black boots that have a 3 or 4 inch heel, something like that. Anyway, I think this is a cute look. I would wear this out. I think another reason that I'm struggling to style these is because the top is rather empty, and I keep thinking of ways of how I could combat that. Like, what kind of necklace could I pair with this without it feeling overdone? What kind of jacket could I wear with this without it looking weird? I tried this with a leather coat and personally did not like it. Yeah, actually, wait a second. I will show you what I mean. Just a moment. I have it, my favorite black leather coat. See what I mean? It just doesn't, I don't feel like it goes. There's just something a little off. I don't know. There's just, I can't put it into words. Anyway, I'm gonna try and style this top one more way with a black midi skirt, which is the other way that they styled it on the model. So give me a second, I will be right back.
10 seconds later.
Also, I forgot to show you guys what this looks like from the back. By the way, I did not research how to tie these bows properly, so I'm probably doing it wrong. But for now, I'm just kind of letting them hang out, quite literally. I like this. I like this a lot. Honestly, this is probably my favorite so far. In terms of comfortability, the skirt is so flowy and just easy breezy, and then my white sandals are also really comfy. And this is probably the first look I've worn that doesn't have a heeled shoe. It's so cute with the wicker bag. Wait a second. Oh, I really want to pair this with a hat, but I just realized my hair is up in a bun and the hat would not sit on my head properly. But in the future, I have a really cute wide-rimmed straw hat that has like a black bow. It would be so cute. Hey guys, sorry for the lighting change. I had to take a break for about 3 hours because I had some issues with my electronics that needed to be resolved. But it did give me the opportunity to wear one of the corsets for a longer amount of time. And it wasn't terrible, which is good news considering this is something I would want to be able to at least wear to a special event or maybe dinner, like a dinner date. Anyway, I have paired it with one of my undershirts to, you know, use as a buffer between the corset and me. And it definitely makes it more comfortable. I will say that when I sit down, the base of the corset does dig a little bit into my hips. And mind you, I have a very long torso. So if you're a more petite person, I'm not sure how one of these corsets would fit you or what would happen when you sit down. Just something to keep in mind based off of your heights and build and that kind of thing. I know someone online had said that these corsets are basically just tubes with boning. I don't know if that's 100% true. I can see what they meant, but they do have a shape to them. They are very stiff though. They're very, very structured. And if you're a person who doesn't like things holding you in, basically sensory things, maybe this would not be a good garment for you. Other than that, I really like this particular outfit. The skirt is really cute and I like the ruffles. I can see what Corset Story was doing. Whoever designed this skirt, it actually matches all of the other corsets that I bought really well because of the ruffles. But that being said, don't buy this skirt if you don't like ironing. And this is my honest review. It's a super cute skirt. I just wish that it did not wrinkle so much. I'm pretty sure it's 100% cotton, which in theory is great, but I ran it through the wash and it was so wrinkly. And I ironed it for probably 30 minutes, and ironing these little ruffles is a pain. And there's 2 layers of ruffles, so you have to go through and just iron them all the way around. It's a lot. Okay, this is the last corset, and this is the one that I mentioned earlier that I did not order directly from the Corset Story website. I thrifted this for, I think, 20 bucks off of Poshmark, which is pretty good deal considering off their website it is currently about $300 retail. I have paired it with my black heeled boots and my skirt. I think I do need to play around with accessorizing this and choosing jewelry and a purse and maybe even a jacket or cardigan. I think this could be a fun summer to fall transition outfit just because of the color scheme and also just the amount of layers. I wouldn't want to wear this when it's really, really cold, but I also wouldn't want to wear it when it's really, really hot. As far as my experience with Corset Story, everything went well. They shipped everything that I ordered and it got here really quickly, so no issues there. Let me know in the comments below which corset was your favorite, if you would wear a corset, if you have any styling tips for corsets, I would love to hear from you. Also, if you enjoyed this video and would like to see others like it, please like, subscribe, leave a comment, and hit the notification bell button because I do my best to upload regularly. Well, until the next one, I am out. Bye!
Oh, you pull me back, gravity into your light again, and I'm losing track. Every moment fades in the wind. No, I've never been so high. The way you look into my eyes, you know it. I adore you. Supernova, when your love is shining. It's a supernova.